All right, everybody, welcome back to the #1 television program in the history of the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon, The Blackest Heart, and The Lonesome Crown, all three books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be reviewing DragonQuest by Anne McCaffrey, book number 2 in her Dragonriders trilogy, Dragonriders of Pern trilogy. I do have the other two books here. I have Dragonflight, which I reviewed a couple of years ago on the channel. If you want to watch that review, all you need to do is type in my last name, Durfee, into your YouTube search bar, and Dragonflight into your YouTube search bar. And through some sort of pagan sorcery, that book review will magically appear upon your television screen. But right now we're talking about Book 2, Dragon Quest. And let's talk about the covers first, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. We always give a review of the covers, you know. Book 1 had a great painting by Michael Whelan. Book 2 has a great painting by Michael Whelan. Book 3 has a great painting by Michael Whelan. In fact, I've got a few more Dragon Rider books up here on my shelf here. Right there. Those also all have great paintings by Michael Whelan. Anyway, let's talk about the how these books look on the shelf. They look pretty good on the shelf, you know. Got the White Dragon, one of the most iconic Michael Whelan paintings there ever has been. So good job for the covers for Del Rey books. These books came out, this book in particular came out in 1971. So these have been around a while. What is that? That's as old as me, 50 years or something. So you know, there's other things here in here too. There's a map of the there's a map of Pern, the magical kingdom that we will be adventuring through with our dragons. There's I don't think, yeah, there's no character list. No character list, sorry everybody. But anyway, just a great looking book overall. So in the first, when I reviewed this book here, so if you go back and you watch this book review here, I only had one criticism of the book, and that's I did not think that Anne McCaffrey went to a whole lot of trouble describing the characters, you know, like their features, their facial features, what they were wearing. And I don't know why, but I fucked that up. I mean, I actually kind of went back and re-looked at some things, and she actually does a fairly good job of describing characters. I don't know why I had like that in my mind that she wasn't doing it. And then I paid particular attention to it in this book. And she does a very good job of being descriptive in her writing, which was something that I kind of criticized in my first review, which was I was being a fuck. I just didn't. Maybe I just was maybe I had just read something by Tad Williams or Robin Hobb where everything is described. And then I came to this where like it's described a little bit more minimally. In fact, I appreciate one of the things I did say in the review of book 1 was that you know, Anne McCaffrey goes back to that old school of fantasy writing, you know, where the prose is important, where the way the word choices in the book are, they're not modern. She doesn't use modern vernacular. It's all very old-timey, kind of you know, it makes you feel like you're really living in a medieval world just with her word choices. You know, it's kind of like the way Catherine Kurtz did the Darini series, or Fritz Leiber did the Fafard and Grey Mouse, or even Michael Moorcock in the Elric series. I mean, it's got a very good, solid medieval flair base to the writing style, where you're not pulled out of the writing by modern words or modern phrases or even modern descriptions. It's just, the prose is just excellent. So Pern is the name of the planet that these books take place on. They are fantasy novels with all of the castles and dragons and fantasy things that you'd expect. But Pern is a separate planet from Earth. By the way, I love that name, Pern, for a planet. I just really like it. But Pern has a problem. There's these silver threads that fall from the sky at certain times, and they destroy, once they hit the earth, they just start destroying anything organic that's on the earth. Any organic material just gets eaten up by these threads. Now the dragons and the dragon riders, they are sort of the army that burns these threads out of the sky. I mean, you can see this dragon right here. His flaming, you see the silver threads and he blowing flame right out of his gut to kill them silver threads before they hit the ground. And so that's kind of the basis of why we have dragon riders on this planet, why we have dragons on the planet, what's going on this planet, what is it with this planet. A lot of those answers come in later books, but for now we're just kind of with our characters trying to figure out ways to destroy these threads that are falling to earth. And we've got this tension is building up in this book here, which is set, it seems, about 7 years after book one, I'm if I remember correctly. But there's a tension between the old timers, in other words, the way that the old dragon riders used to burn the threads, and then the newer dragon riders. You know, it's like always a clash. No matter where you go, no matter what company you work for, the old timers are like, the way we did it was way better than the way you youngsters are doing it. But anyway, they've got a clash. Fëanor, our main character, he is to mediate this sort of this tension between the two. He's kind of betrayed. He's sent away. All of this stuff is written on the back jacket, by the way. So I'm not spoiling anything. He's sent away, but whilst he's sent away, he kind of discovers the wicked werewoman Kylara, and there's some things going on there. Does he fall in love or not? Maybe he falls in love with Kylara, or maybe another character entirely he falls in love with. But there's a lot of soap opera-y things going on in here. Fylar is Fëanor's half-brother, and he is kind of having a clash with a character named Tron, who is the leader of the old-timers. So it's like, I guess it's like the old school versus the new school, the old school. And amidst all of this conflict and drama and soap opera, can they destroy the new batch of silver threads that are falling from the sky? One of the things that I liked about this book is we get to meet a very young character named Jaxum, who is the star of this book, the third book, The White Dragon. We can see him right there when he grows up. And I remember reading The White Dragon a long, long time ago and really enjoying that character. But anyway, we get to meet him as a youngster here. So that's kind of the basic plot of DragonQuest. I don't want to get into any of the nitty-gritty details. I mean, it's just a beautiful book. You know, the Michael Whelan paintings made these beautiful. And then they've redone the covers since, and in my opinion, they're trash. But anyway, the old school Michael Whelan paintings were great. I give DragonQuest a solid 8 out of 10. It's a good fantasy, good old school fantasy. And if you can get a hold of these copies with the Whelan paintings, you're going to be much happier. Just in life in general. It'll probably actually change your life, really. It really will.